very crude, hand-drawn overview of what I want for my underquilt. My underquilt dimensions are going to be around 48 by 60 inches. 60 inches long, 48 inches wide. And I've come up with that measurement based on what I would like for my 3/4 underquilt. Others of you who are shorter than me or taller than me may need a different length and or width. I'm 6'2", 210 pounds. So what I need is I feel that I need about 60 inches long for a 3/4 width underquilt and about 48 inches wide at the shoulders. I've got a slight taper at the head and I've got a much more gradual taper at the foot. And what this allows it to snug up against the hammock tighter, and also the underquilt will be a little bit lighter because I'm shaving off that weight that you essentially don't need at the head area and at the foot area, or the leg, knee area down here. I've seen underquilts that are actually in a trapezoidal shape. I would like to do that someday, but for my first project I'm going to stay with the pretty much square underquilt. I may someday try to do a trapezoidal. I think it would work better. You would get a lighter hammock that would cover more of your body. It would save some ounces, and it would probably be much more efficient as far as weight per warmth. But I'm not going to do that with this project today. I'm going to try the taper aspect instead. My baffles are going to be 6 inches wide by 4 inches. My loft, I want to be about 4 inches on the whole thing, so I'm going to have 8 baffles that are 6 inches wide with the 48 inches total width. Alright, the actual measurements for the cuts, it gets into a little bit, from what I've read on the forums and from videos I've read of other people doing it. Again, this is my first underquilt project, so I don't know from experience, but I can know from other people's experience that I'm going to cut my hammock side exactly the width of the cut of the actual footprint that I want my underquilt to have. Again, the side of the underquilt that goes up against the hammock is going to be similar to the dimensions that I want the underquilt to have. And that is 48 by 60 plus a 3-inch seam allowance on all sides, which would give me a dimension of 51 by 63 for my hammock side of the underquilt, the ripstop nylon for that side cut. The ground side, the part that hangs down, is going to be a little different. I actually have to allow for the 4-inch baffle. What I don't want my underquilt to do is I don't want it to be like a pillow. You know how when you lay a pillow flat, both sides are the same length and the seams meet in the middle? I want that seam to meet towards the hammock so my loft hangs down. And in order to do that, I need to cut the ground side ripstop nylon, that edge, that outer shell, I need to cut it a little larger to add for the 4-inch baffle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a 48 by 60, just like the regular footprint. I'm going to add 3 inches for the seam allowance and 4 inches for the baffle allowance. That gives me a total width of that next cut of 55 by 67. Again, my baffle width is going to be 6 inches, and my baffle heights are going to be 4 inches. So to calculate the total down I need, I'm going to stuff this with 800 fill down. To calculate the total down, I'm going to need 48 by 60 by 4. What that is, that's length times width times depth. And I have 800 square inches per ounce. So if I want to know how many ounces I need to divide that by 800. If I do that, I get 14.4. But remember, I have some tapering in here. And I think it's going to be about 7% volume lost for my taper. So if I take this 14.4 times 7%, I get roughly 1. So I'm going to need about, I'm guessing 13.6. I actually haven't done the math because I'm just going to order a pound. But I will probably end up putting about 13.5 ounces in the underquilt. Now, I may choose to overstuff that. I'll have to decide when I get there. I'll make a video. You guys will see all the rest of this. But anyway, this is my overview of my project. More videos to come. I'm going to take videos of the whole process and tell you guys exactly what I'm doing, pictures and videos, and put it up on the forum, and wish me luck.
I'm done acting like I won't be sitting here still wishing you wanted me. Don't say that I never told you. Take some advice from somebody who knows. You should've